Majesty, with humility, I would like to request His Majesty to make his statement.
Your Excellency, President Daneiel Chapo, President of the Republic of Mozambique, and your whole delegation, the ministers, and all distinguished members from Mozambique. Begunene senvusela kakhulu begunene. Your Excellency, I wish to take this opportunity to welcome you and your esteemed delegation here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We are very pleased that as soon as you assume your duties as the new president of Mozambique, you find in your busy schedule time to pay us a visit here in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and we want to say that you are welcome. We take this opportunity to congratulate you, Your Excellency, and the new administration that you are leading, and of course, as the new father of all Mozambicans. And we take it that your visit is a way of strengthening the relationship and the cooperation between our two countries. You are aware, Your Excellency, that for many, many years, the Kingdom of Eswatini and as well as Mozambique have been now brothers and sisters. We are neighbors. We share a lot in common. And of course, coming together like this, of course, it is a way of learning more about each other. Because each day, there's always something new that one is learning. And we are happy that yourself, you are leading a very strong delegation with you to pay us a visit and to continue to follow up from your predecessors. We have worked very, very well with your predecessors, and we are now looking forward as the new president to continue to build the relationship even to greater heights between our two countries. Of course, we are very grateful that when you come, we received a lot of rain, and in our culture, we take rains as blessings. We take rain that our ancestors, our God Almighty, that we all serve, is with us and is actually blessing this whole occasion, and we are very pleased about that. Your Excellency, you come at a time when the kingdom is very busy with a lot of activities. We are transforming Eswatini to a much greater height. We are looking at how we can look at our people, especially because we have an agenda to fulfill. The agenda we are supposed to fulfill is the one which is the Millennium Development Goals, the UN agenda, and of course our own agenda, which is the 2063, the Africa we want. Now the Africa we want talks about Africa finding its own problems and also find its own solutions. And we have been doing a lot of research here in Eswatini to see how we can turn this into meaningful results here in Eswatini. Obviously, peace and stability is the one big thing which if you are to achieve a lot of things, peace and stability has to be the recipe for all kind of success. And we are very pleased that here in the kingdom, peace and stability continues to prevail, and we are very pleased about that. And we could inform you that it is as a result that all Mswati, now and again, we do have time to sit down to discuss issues, different ideas, in issues that regard economy or issues that regard the political situation. These are things that we discuss, and as a result, it makes us, all of us, to be one big happy family, and we are very proud about that. Your Excellency, of course, one of the issues that we are, of course, concerned about is the issues of unemployment. As I'm sure in many, many countries around the world, unemployment has become one of the biggest obstacles for many, many governments to tackle. And in particular, after we had this problem of COVID, which actually it worsened the situation even further. So here in Eswatini, we have been looking at the programs, what kind of programs that we can do in order to address some of these issues. This year in Parliament, when I opened Parliament, I also told our parliamentarians that this is a year of transformation. That means we need to transform our economy. We need to go out there in all corners of this country. We need to study the people's situation, what kind of situation the people of Eswatini are in, so that we can be able to come up with kind of solutions to these challenges. Of course, we also have programs of promoting, establishing different kinds of industries in the sectors of manufacturing, in agro industries, in mining, in tourism, in many other industries that are there, especially which are economic driven and so on. And we have been going out there, especially because we study the situation that most of our people don't have, like the startups, which is the most difficult thing if you are to make any progress. So as a country, what we have done, we've kind of provided a lot of startups in different communities, and I can say with confidence that a lot of communities have kind of started new projects. And I'm saying it because I had visited at the beginning of this year. I went to visit different 3 regions where I was able to see for myself that if we are saying we are reaching out to the communities, are we actually doing it meaningful or not? And in my visit to all these places, I must say that I was very pleased about that. And of course, apart from that, and these are communities out there in the rural areas. We have been providing infrastructure, road networks for all the people. But of course, we realize that, apart from the industries which the country is trying to do, we need to also invite other investors out there. And I was so happy to hear that when you came this morning, you had an assignment yourself where you were addressing business people from Mozambique and as well as those from Eswatini, which is good to see that the president, when he's here on the first day, he doesn't waste no time, but he gets on with the business. That is very encouraging. Indeed, because it means you can address all the problems that we are all facing, especially in our region. I was happy to hear that there were business from Eswatini, business from Mozambique, and of course we are hopeful that the business seminar that you had this morning has bear results in terms of Mozambicans and Mswati identifying areas of cooperation. We have a lot to cooperate with, that companies from Mozambique have to look at opportunities here in Eswatini, and likewise Mswati to go to Mozambique to also look at the opportunities. Obviously, the most important thing it is for governments to make ease access of things for our business people. That if our business people are going to set up a lot of industries, then the things like infrastructure are the things which the government needs to look at and to see how we can address them. I'm happy to say that during our discussions, just before we came out here to greet everyone, it's one of the issues that we have addressed and discussed, and I was very happy to see His Excellency that he's very much committed. We address issues of infrastructure, to look at how our road network, our railway, and our trains could, even ports, because Mozambique has ports which is not very far from here in Eswatini, with the Maputo port, in terms of transporting things, and also when we are receiving goods coming from other regions and beyond our continent, we need a port, and it's one of the issues that we've discussed with the President. And we look at how we can improve the road network and so on. And I think the discussions was very fruitful in terms that it bared a lot of fruits. And not only did we discuss about road network and rail, but we also included energy. Energy is one of the issues that many countries, for any country to develop, you need a very strong energy sector. And as countries which are still developing, these things are still some of the biggest challenges for us, and in particular from our side. In Eswatini, we are still importing a lot of energy from our neighbors and so on. So we discussed the issue, having the fact that Mozambique has found gas, which is one of the natural resources, which is actually good in terms of producing energy, to see how Eswatini and Mozambique can share in this project. And I'm happy that one of the issues we looked at and that we addressed was that it is important to set up a strategic gas storage. And I did inform His Excellency that currently we are embarking on in the next month or so, or the next couple of 2 months, we will be starting a strategic oil reserve. But the area where the strategic oil reserve is going to be built is big enough that it will not only accommodate oil reserve storages alone, but also it can also have the potential of facilitating for gas and so on. And it's one of the issues we discussed with His Excellency, that the two countries can also cooperate in these issues, because Mozambique has discovered the gas, and we need energy in Eswatini from yesterday. So the discussion just came at the right time, and that if the two countries can cooperate more effectively in these issues, I think there's going to be a lot of success. And we agreed with His Excellency that let us set up a structure because some of these projects, even though we may vision about them, but the most important thing is to how to translate them into meaningful action. Which it means that we need to set up teams, task teams that could do a proper study and of course come with good results to us as to how we can implement these particular projects. We want these teams to put up a case for us because raising funds, we will have to raise funds from outside of our continent. So we want to package ourselves that when we go to the outside world can see that this is a viable project. So it is also another issue which we have discussed with His Excellency. Of course, the port in Maputo is very critical, especially if we are to transport things that will be coming from afar, that if we develop a particular port that will be dedicated to Eswatini. So all the goods of Eswatini, just to have its own port, where we can facilitate and then bring whatever goods is necessary to bring the site. And I was very pleased that His Excellency was also in the view that this is a very important project and that we must do it together. And another one we discussed was the issue of how to transport, because now we'll be doing the strategic oil reserve. It needs transport. Of course, the studies have to look what is feasible in terms of do we use rail or do we use pipeline as part of the transportation. These are projects which, of course, when we talk about regional projects, which the world today is talking about, especially when they are talking about support for Africa, they are looking at regional projects. What is the regional project? So some of these projects could be looked at as and be considered as the regional project, like the ones which already we are doing, which include the road network, which not only just include the Kingdom of Eswatini and Mozambique, but also it also includes South Africa, as the three countries may need in terms of transporting goods back and forth within our three countries. The three countries is very important that we have kind of programs that we can do together. We have launched a number of initiatives, and I remember one time one of the initiatives that we launched, we call it the Lubombo Special Initiative. Now, the Lubombo Special Initiative, when we looked at it, there were a number of programs in that initiative that we had earmarked that should really transform our countries into much, much better places to live in. Because what we are concerned about is that our citizens in all the countries should be well taken care of with all the products and all the produce that we can be able to produce in these countries. So the Lubombo Special Initiative, and the reason why we chose the Lubombo was because Lubombo is one name which you find in all the 3 countries. So in all the 3 countries, since we have this name called Lubombo, that is why we called this initiative the Ubombo Special Initiative, and it was actually to address issues in the infrastructure, in terms of tourism, in terms of packaging these programs, and go together as 3 countries, go on the roadmap where we can advertise to business people out there, to investors, to financial institutions who can come and give support, because most of these projects, without the support of the financial institutions, cannot be meaningful. But with the support of the financial institutions, things can happen. So these are the programs that, of course, we are now looking forward that now that His Excellency is here, and I am glad that His Excellency is leading a very strong, esteemed delegation with him. They are the ministers and also the officials from Mozambique, who we are going to sit down with them and to see how all these programs that we have discussed from the past and today, how we can turn them into action, meaningful action, get results, because we agreed with His Excellency that we need to go beyond discussions. Sometimes we spend a lot of times discussing a lot of issues, but don't come up with the results. Now we committed ourselves with His Excellency that we will be making follow-ups and on all these issues, so that we can actually make His Excellency's visit more meaningful. That when His Excellency was here, these are the things we were able to achieve and address. And when he go back to Mozambique, at least he will also be comfortable that a lot of the things that we earmark that we want to see happening in our region, that it actually do take place. So it's one of the issues that we have committed ourselves. And also sharing of water. Water is also one of the very important things between our 2 countries. When we look at how our people, because in these days no one can survive without water. So the sharing of water between the 2 countries as part of the cross-border programs is very, very important. And also those were the issues that we looked at to say that we need to support one another in these terms. And we are looking forward that even those studies which have been conducted currently to see how the 2 countries can cooperate more, especially when it comes to water programs, these things are actually implemented so we can help those people who need the water from yesterday.
Umvavakitswa sasaseni awuhlali phansi ngoba wesabathi nduli ulomakhahlakahla kasobhuza ulomakhahlakahla shimbi yakhe sikhulesa sisabakhwetheli kalo sithakala ncabane yeke nosila semambala bathe basinyatsela sawashubulike le madodza namambala waye kwatholakala umlondondodza esihlahleni kubalunga tsinzala udungandaba ngoba siyamatnabhusa bebavele bamesaba abantu abebathakathi ungangeza intaba ulomakhahlakahla kasobhuza the son of Lobanza njengemandi the son of Bhuza semkhoneni setandleni The living proof that kings are ordained by God to lead his people. Uyimbube uyesabeka udlamantolo ezinyani. Bayethe wena phakathi.